Hey guys, how you doing? Hope you're doing okay. I'm going to try to give you a bit of a mix of an overview as well as reading some of the details within the article to make sure that you get all of the key information here. There is a link in the description should you wish to go through that yourself. This is a recent situation. This article was published just a little earlier today. So I'll start off by giving you an overview, and I will mention that it is a tragedy. It involves the death of a 7-month-old baby, as well as the mistreatment of a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old, who thankfully the 5-year-old and 10-year-old have been removed. They are with the appropriate child protection services authorities. I don't quite recall the name of that authority. We'll look through that in a moment. I'll give you an overview. Essentially, their house that they lived in Pennsylvania, it says here Aliquippa, not sure of the pronunciation, in Beaver County. The house was horrific. The living conditions were horrific, terrible. And one of the examples given is feces ground into the carpet. Within the article, it tells us that if an officer stood still in the same place, his feet would literally stick to the ground because of the caked in feces all over. In addition to that, they mentioned that there's bugs everywhere, there's dirty dishes, there's all kinds of garbage throughout the house and outside. They mention multiple piles of garbage outside, some 8 or 9 feet tall. So horrendous living conditions. The 5-year-old and 10-year-old were said to be severely underdeveloped for their age. So I believe in both a physical and mental capacity is my understanding, but we'll look closer at that in a moment. Most tragically, a 7-month-old baby died. So their child. The child died last fall. And there are 2 culprits at play here. Vincent Owens, 44 years of age, and Melinda Cecchi, 34 years of age. Partners, they're not married, but they're partners. Vincent Owens has been charged with involuntary manslaughter for the death of his 7-month-old infant. I've checked. There is technically a death penalty in Pennsylvania. However, it's not been enforced since 1999. So in effect, I think it's reasonable to say that there isn't an effective death penalty in Pennsylvania. Not one that is utilized or has been utilized for quite some time. So that being the case, this guy, if he's convicted, he won't face the death penalty. Let's hope that if he is convicted after trial, let's hope that he's sentenced a very long time in jail or prison. And let's hope that the inmates have the opportunity to have a little word with him every now and then about his conduct, about his treatment of his 3 children. The underdeveloped 5-year-old, the underdeveloped 10-year-old, and the death of his 7-month-old. Let's hope the inmates have the opportunity to have a little chat with him about that, so they can express their feelings about what they think about that, his treatment of his children. The woman is also facing a number of charges: child endangerment, as well as possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm not interested in that part, the drug paraphernalia, whatever. But, she allowed the children to be housed in this environment, this hideous, horrific environment. Feces caked into the floor all over. Piles of garbage, bugs, dirt, everywhere. She allowed it. They're each blaming each other in regards to the condition of the house, the living conditions of how they raised their children. They're blaming each other, but it is only Vincent Owens that is being charged in relation to the death of the 7-month-old. So I've given you a pretty thorough overview there, and there is a link in the description. I'm just going to skim through to make sure I'm telling you everything. So officers have mentioned that there was an extremely strong smell throughout the house. Large piles of clothes, dirty mattresses, open holes. Open holes. So it doesn't exactly say where, but presumably in the floorboards. Open holes that the children could have fallen through. So the Beaver County Children, Youth and Family Services thankfully have taken the children. And all three were undeveloped. The 5-year-old's feet were black from walking in the house. The 10-year-old went to school dirty. And the article's also telling us that when the 7-month-old was alive, they weren't able to roll over. The 7-month wasn't able to grab things, and the 7-month wasn't able to raise their own head. I don't have children. I don't know too much about child development. I could be wrong, but that strikes me as quite shocking. Am I wrong? For a 7-month-old not to be able to raise their own head, that strikes me as severely underdeveloped. I understand that newborns can't raise their own head. I understand that. But a 7-month-old? So there is that full article. We've gone through things pretty thoroughly there. We pray that the 2 surviving children get all of the support that they need. Seemingly they're underdeveloped, I believe physically, I believe mentally. They're not going to have their real parents, which is a blessing. Let's hope that they get, I don't know what the right term is, but assigned. Is that the right term? Perhaps not. Assigned to loving, supportive parents, let's hope. A loving, supporting environment so that they can, I guess the term would be, catch up in regards to their development physically and mentally. And I would imagine it's going to be a very difficult journey for them. I hope it isn't, but I imagine that it will be. So prayers, best wishes to those 2 surviving children. I'm not really in a position to offer condolences to the family members, other than the 2 surviving children, really, because we're only informed of these 2 scumbags, Vincent Owens, Melinda Chekchi. So I just hope that justice is served. I hope this Vincent Owens guy is found guilty. That's my hope. I believe that the investigators typically in this kind of situation have plenty of evidence. So I hope that's the case. I hope a trial does lead to justice. He won't be facing the death penalty, unfortunately. If it were up to me, he would be, should he be found guilty. So let's hope he does get a very severe jail or prison sentence, and that his fellow inmates can have a little word with him. Let's hope that the woman, Melinda Chekchi, also faces what she deserves for having this disgusting environment in which I believe her 3 children were growing up in. Trying to grow up in. So let's hope she gets the justice that she deserves too. I'm going to wrap things up at this point. If you do like this type of content, please do show me some encouragement. I'm trying to pump out multiple articles every single day. Articles which are published today or perhaps yesterday, but certainly very recently. And I'm covering these very dark topics: death, murder, abuse, sexual abuse in some cases. I'm tackling these dark subjects. So if you do appreciate that, please do show me some support. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. And I'll thank you for your time.